Whoopsies. Okay, hold on. Give me a minute. I want to also mute this. There we go. Hey guys, I'm RG here with episode 22 of my Bloodborne Let's Play. I made a few small changes to my webcam. I made my myself right here, down bottom right corner, a little bit transparent so you could kind of see behind me. It makes no huge difference to anything because you're not really going to see anything down here, but I don't know. I just thought it was a good change. A little bit of a change, you know. Um, Sorry about yesterday's lack of videos. I just had some stuff come up and I wasn't really able to make any content. But I also kind of wanted a break from the disaster that episode 21 was. My god. I liked that. I liked recording that episode. I didn't mind that. But just an hour long dragged on and I started at like 8 a.m. I was just done. I couldn't do a video again for a day or two. But don't worry, we're back. I feel better. It's 10 a.m. right now, so regular time. Thankfully, my cat was a good cat this time around and was, allowed me to sleep. Yeah, the other day I was just like really tired and I had to wake up earlier and make an earlier video because of some plans I had that day too. Yeah, it was a pain in the dick. But regardless, so in this episode we are going to be finishing up this poison area and heading towards the boss, which is right through that archway. Make sure this boss is actually kind of interesting. I could talk about it right now. It is weak to all types of magic, basically arcane, bolt, and fire. So if you have one of those three things, fire, paper, bolt, paper, or any kind of arcane attack, you will do pretty well. I'm going to be using bolt because that's my personal favorite of the two. So I recently got Dead Cells on my Xbox, and man, I'm loving that game. I only played, well, actually, I pretty much played all day yesterday. Once my what I was doing yesterday was over, I had a little bit of free time to play some games, and I chose Dead Cells because I was like, I heard good things about this. I've been kind of interested. Let's do it. And I love it. So good. I kind of want to tweak the controls a little bit so they're like my preference, because I have the Pro controller or Elite controller, so I'm able to do that. I think you can do that with regular controllers too, so it's not like I'm better than you and or anything like that. I do think the controls they have, the default ones, are pretty damn solid. I have no problem with them in any way, honestly. But I just want to see what kind of control layouts I can use and make things a little bit more fluid for me. I probably won't do anything though, because I could use those little triggers, because the Elite Series 2 controller has triggers right here, which are nice. Maybe I could use something like that. That would be cool. I'm sure no one's gonna say it, but I'm gonna laugh if I see someone like, this is a PS4 game, why the fuck are you talking about Xbox? I can talk about whatever the fuck I want on my videos, man. Just because I'm playing a PlayStation game doesn't mean I can't. I'm banned from talking about other games. I mean, come on. Not to mention, Dead Cells is on every console, basically, so you can play it on the Switch, you can play it on the PS4, you can play it on Xbox. It's one of those types of games. People... Sorry, I'm tired and stuff. Not gonna lie, straight up. After playing Dead Cells and having the really fluid movement speed in that game, everything in this game is sluggish as hell to me. Holy crap. Anyway, I guess I can kind of say what I was doing the other day. Basically, I had a friend over, we were just hanging out playing some games, and we played Pandemic on my Xbox because it was available on Xbox Arcade, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So I just picked that up and we played it. It was super fun. Pretty basic game. Pandemic is a board game where you have to basically fight and cure 4 different diseases. 5 counting the one from the expansion. And we're just gonna go right in and fight this thing. There are 4 colors. Well, 5, yeah. 4. There's yellow, black, red, and blue. In each part of the world, like each major country, like all Asian countries are red. Most of the Middle East countries are black. The U.S. is blue, and most of like South America and Mexico and stuff down there is yellow. You have to basically team up with other people. It's a co-op game and not a single-player game. Like, you're not fighting everyone else. You have to team up and do things because each person has a role. For example, my friend was the dispatcher, which is a really phenomenal class. It basically gives you the ability to move other people's pawns as if they were your own. So each person has 4 movements, like 4 things they could do per turn. Like find a cure for the disease if you have the right cards, or move one movement counts as one. What's the word? I totally forgot the word. I guess movement. One movement. I'm heading back to Hunter's Dream real quick just so I could buy a few more resources, and since we wasted that time, I also want to replenish my blood echoes. Vials. So each turn you have several things you can do. Move from one city to another city. If you have a base, which is where you go to find the cure for a certain disease. Sorry for my hair, by the way. You could fly from one base to another using one turn instead of having to spend multiple turns to get there. Otherwise, if 2 people are in the same city that you have a city card that matches in your hand, you could trade that city card to them, because in order to find the cure, you need 5 of the same color cards. So when you get your beginning hand, you need to determine, okay, so I have these cards, these colors, so I'll work on these colors. You have those colors, so you'll work on those colors. So each person will have their own job and what cards they're looking for. There's a hand limit of like 7, so you have to be very careful and strategize pretty well. And since it's a teamwork game, you basically keep your hand visible at all times. You're not trying to hide stuff. If you are one of those idiots that are like, I want to do everything by myself, you guys are here for no reason, don't play this kind of game. It's not Plague Inc. or Monopoly or some other game where you're trying to kill everything else, you know? You win the game when you cure all 4 major diseases. You don't need to get rid of all the blocks on the map. You just have to cure the diseases, but you do want to cure out the block. Get rid of the block. So at the beginning of the game, there are 9 cards that are drawn, city cards. The first 3 are where they put 1 block each. The second trio is where they put 2 blocks on each of those cities, and then the third one is the big one, 3 each. Once the main deck is used, you reshuffle it, and if that card is drawn again where there's a 3rd block on it, that's called an outbreak, and what that does is the blocks spread to all adjacent cities from that, and you get an outbreak point. And once you get up to a certain amount of outbreaks, you lose, because there's no way to stop it. So your goal is trying to prevent outbreaks, so you need to combine finding the right cards, getting bases built in good cities. The 2 major cities I recommend getting are Baghdad or one of the nearby Middle Eastern cities, because that's near a huge chunk of cities that usually has a lot of cubes on it, and Bangkok from the red section, or China. It's also the same reason for Baghdad. It's near a lot of good spots, and it's just a really good area to build a base. And that helps travel easily. You always have a base in Atlanta. That's always a thing. Like, that's automatic. Honestly, it's on my Xbox though. I don't think I could live stream off my Xbox. Can I? Because I would love to Xbox live stream Xbox stuff. Um, the game is really fun. It's a lot of strategy. There's different role cards. My personal favorite is the medic because it's just outright god tier, and dispatcher as well. Medic is super useful. Basically, to get rid of a cube, you have to use a turn per cube, but with the medic, you could just get rid of all the cubes with one movement. So, if there's 3 cubes in a city, say San Francisco, and you're the medic, you can go to San Francisco and get rid of all 3 right away within a few turns. Combine that with the dispatcher, you get the dispatcher to say, hey, I need to go here real fast, so use your turn to get me there. So basically, the dispatcher doesn't really do much and just basically plays with one character. And another great thing about the medic is when the cure is made, say red, just by walking through any city with red cubes gets rid of those cubes automatically, not even needing to use a turn. It just gets rid of them outright. It's super useful. There's other classes and stuff in that game, other roles, like the scientist allows you to, instead of using 5 cards to find a cure, you only use 4. It's a good game. Definitely look up Pandemic. There's an expansion for it. I think it's called On the Brink. Yeah, On the Brink. I actually have the box for it right over there behind me. Just get the base box set if you guys are interested in it. It might be a little bit pricey, but it's pretty good. Anyway, enough about Pandemic. Let's talk about the... it's not really talk about, but let's just continue the actual game at hand or whatever. I didn't really have any use for that money, so I'm just getting rid of it. We're about to fight a boss, so I didn't really want to waste any, I didn't want to risk losing that money permanently. Okay, let me get the boss stats up. It's not what I wanted. Okay, there we go. Huh. Okay. I thought this boss was Ken based, but it isn't. Oh well. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Kind of funny when we were playing Pandemic the other day, or like about to play it. My friend brought up the point where I wonder if this game is banned in China, like Plague Inc. It probably is. It's kind of weird how China did that, but whatever. I mean, there was a lot of idiots that were naming stuff after coronavirus. Yeah, not really that funny, guys. And I know the boss is the other way, but I just want to grab that item real fast. Oh, come on. Should have done that reversed, but whatever. Remove. So I just want bolt paper. So Amygdala could be a tough fight. None of its attacks can be really interrupted. It can't be staggered with enough damage. So that's a thing, but 6,000 HP, well, 6,400 HP, and mostly weak to just fire bolt and arcane. So if you don't have any bolt paper or fire paper at this point, then I would recommend looking for those items that allow you to buy those, since they are highly recommended to have at this point in the game, since a lot of enemies from this point forward are pretty much going to be weak to those two elements. Well, those elements in arcane. God damn it, sorry guys. Didn't really get a good view of it before it jumped down, my bad. So yeah, attacking its legs does nothing. You're going to want to attack its head most of the time. You're trying to bait its giant laser attack because... Oh, hold on. That's... It kind of staggers itself for a few moments after that and allows you to hit it at its head. I should have timed using my bolt paper a little bit better, but whatever. Okay, I deserve that. That was on me. Classic camera. Questioning how that wasn't counted as a hit. I'm actually kind of curious on that. Come on, buddy. Bow. Come on. I mean, the boss, you know? They don't want to take damage. Also, I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be music in this fight. Do you guys hear music? Because I don't. Oh. Okay. Spamming a jump attack. Holy shit, are you kidding me? I was just joking about that. Are you fucking kidding me? If it does some shit like that, it should just give me like a 30-second window just to go nuts on it. Wow, I can't talk today. More baiting. I know this is doing no damage, but damage is damage. I don't know what that did, but it does. Either way, watch out for that attack for sure. That's a guaranteed block damage. Well, I would get a hit in if it wasn't just moving his arm. Okay, this is where this phase starts. I think this has 3 phases, I forgot to say that. Now that it's on phase 3, it rips its arms off and uses them as weapons. Gotta say, that's pretty badass, not gonna lie. Hitting his leg. In general, this doesn't do too much damage. Or limb arms. I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't take any damage on that one. More spamming. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. Stop spamming jump. God. I know this is not like a great adventure. My Let's Play's never really meant to be like an insane challenge, you know? Okay. Who are you attacking? Is there like an invisible NPC over there somewhere that I can't see? Can't really attack something that won't give me any fucking windows. There we go. Yeah, that was kind of shit, but whatever. So yeah, tried out the transparent little window there, camera thing there. Can't think of the word. I'm not doing it again. It's nice, but there's no point to it. At least for this Let's Play, because there's like nothing down on that corner, usually. Yeah, I think that's a good spot to stop. I know this was a short episode, and half the episode is me getting my ass kicked by one single boss, but that's fine. I don't care. I do need to look up NPC quests, though. That could be the next episode. Or, let me look that up right now, actually. Never mind. There's nothing for us to do. There's one thing we can do, but we're not there yet. Yeah, I'll buy them. I don't really mind. So we got the new Chalice dungeon unlocked from Amygdala. I think that's the one that cuts your HP in half, which is a pain in the ass, and I'm pretty sure Amygdala itself is a boss in that area, so... Oh boy. I did that when I was playing by myself. That didn't sound right. In my personal playthrough, I did that Chalice dungeon, and it was actually pretty fun. I actually liked it a lot. Definitely taught me a few things about the game about dodging and stuff like that, and timing and whatnot. So I wish I remembered that though, but that was like a year ago when I did that. It's in shit, but we're not doing that this series, so. The challenge dungeons are kind of just boring in my opinion. They're just usually the same thing with there's some differences in some of them, but it's not really worth a major chunk of the series just to do every single one of those. Plus, they're randomly generated, so there's not really any point in making a series on them when my experience is going to be different from your guys' experience. Anyway, in the next episode, we're going to be heading towards Briganworth? Yeah, I think it's Briganworth. So we're going to college. See you guys next time. In about a few minutes, actually.